Alycia Baumgardner, 16 wins, 7 knockouts, 1 loss. She shook up the world. I'm just saying, man, she blasted Terry Harper and began her rise to become undisputed. She unified against Michaela Mayer in 2022. She added a WBA in 2023, and then she basically cemented herself as the queen of 130 pounds. But of course, she had a lot of controversy that followed that because she had a positive PED test after her rematch with Christina Lauderner. So that left, I'm going to say, a lot of clouded situations over Baumgardner, right? But she stood in the pocket. She went through the adversity. She stood in the fire. She went through the storm. Eventually, a judgment was made. She was not stripped. Her win stood. Then we got to fast forward. She had this no contest with Delphine Persoon. I think this is how you pronounce these individuals' last name. If I pronounce their last name incorrectly, it was not intentional. I assure you, I respect these champions. So now, she had this comeback win. It was on the Taylor Serrano undercard. Man, Taylor, you did that. Amanda Serrano, you still one of the GOATs for real. You know what I'm saying? So Baumgardner, she's recently dropped the WBC title. Now, this is according to Mauricio Suleiman. And I was just thinking, what in the world does that mean for the boxing world? Because she's still the IBF, WBA, and the WBO champion at 130 pounds. But that undisputed crown is gone. So I wonder if she's going to move up to 135 pounds and chase some of the names up there. Maybe even fight Amanda Serrano or settle some unfinished business because, you know, that win against Persoon got flipped over. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, Persoon is still a top contender. Either way, I hear something. You hear that? It's a ticking time bomb. Look, man, Baumgardner is 31 years old. She's very marketable. She's very athletic. And the lightweight division is very stacked up. What I do know is that whatever she decides to do, I am certain that MVP can make it work. So I'm always wishing Alycia Baumgardner the best. And I just want her to be known that she is awesome. Her personality is great. I have spoke with Alycia Baumgardner, and man, she has one of the most pleasant attitudes that you could ever hope for, especially if you're communicating with someone. Man, you just don't know. So anyway, Canelo Alvarez, what in the world does he do after losing to Terrence the GOAT, a.k.a. Bud Crawford? Right now, the WBC has ranked Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds, right? He's the #1 contender at 168 pounds. Now, usually, what I've noticed is that if a champion is at 168, when they lose, they kind of drop, a couple of notches. But he fell down to #1. That's just how it is, So what I'm expecting, maybe Crawford is going to vacate 168, and then maybe Canelo Alvarez is going to fight somebody else and become 168 champion again, and then eventually fight with Hamza Shiraz. Who knows? Maybe Crawford will vacate, and then Hamza Shiraz and Canelo Alvarez are going to fight. Even though I think that's a bad matchup for Canelo, but we ain't going to talk about that right there. Terrence Bud Crawford He won over Canelo Alvarez, and it was a decisive way. It wasn't no debating. You couldn't be like, you know what? And it was close. Look, man, for the first time in years, Canelo Alvarez is not holding a belt in the division that he dominated. So what in the world is he going to do next? Is he going to have a rematch with Terrence Bud Crawford? Does he want to risk back-to-back losses? Is he going to stay at 168 pounds? Is he going to fight David Benavidez? Fight fans have been wanting to know. They've been wanting him to fight David Benavidez before he even fought Terrence Bud Crawford. Now, of course, Canelo has so many options because, hey, styles make fights. And we do remember he had a war with Triple G. They could fight for a trilogy or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just know that Canelo Alvarez is at a point where he could have some legacy fights that would really push the envelope and prove who he is at this stage of his life. Now, there are some individuals who gave him or proffered an excuse and said, you know what? Canelo Alvarez has had some tough fights. And because of these tough fights, he wasn't at his best when he fought Terrence Bud Crawford. Now, I really don't like to pull out or push an excuse unless it was asked of you. But what I'm noticing about social media, they are creating all types of scenarios to justify why it's okay for Canelo Alvarez to lose to Bud Crawford. I'm going to tell you that I agree with one thing. It's okay for Canelo to lose to Bud Crawford because on that day, at that night, during that event, Terrence Bud Crawford was just better. That's just how it is. You got me? He was better on that night. So I don't want to hear the excuses. I really don't give a fuck about the excuses. I don't care what you got to say. Crawford won. That's just how it is. So mad shouts out Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Bud Crawford. Mad shouts out to Alycia Baumgardner. Because those are the individuals that I talked about in this video. You know, Baumgardner is still a champion, but she's no longer undisputed. She's looking for the next chapter at lightweight. Canelo Alvarez got dethroned, and right now he is staring at the toughest decision of his career. Right now, Bud Crawford has to get down with his team, and they have to make some strategic career decisions because, man, that guy is 38 years old. And one person who is undefeated, unlike Crawford's record, is Father Time. Father Time is undefeated, just like Crawford's record. You got what I'm saying? So if Crawford does not get out when he needs to get out, what better way to get out than right now? Vacate those titles. Do what you gotta do. I'm just saying, all these fighters are at a crossroad. Boxing is open right now. I don't know what's next. What do you think? Do you think that Baumgardner should move up and test herself at 135 pounds against Serrano? Maybe somebody else? For Canelo Alvarez and for Crawford, do you think they should have a Crawford 2? Do you think he should fight Benavidez? Do you think Crawford should retire out while he's on top? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Talk to you soon.